Last Thursday, I lost a friend to cancer. I was taking my church kids out for bowling when I got the message, and I just kind of stared at it for a while. I had an opportunity to meet her in person that Monday of the week, but even though I knew she didn't have a lot of time left, I didn't think it would happen so quickly. I think the worst part of it was that it was a late diagnosis, which didn't give her a lot of time to fight it. I think for many Christians, when we face these kinds of tragedies, we have questions on our minds like, why didn't God intervene? Where is God when bad things happen? What good comes out of these tragedies? I know some people will bring up the Epicurean paradox when it comes to this topic, but I want to keep things really simple today. There was a time in my life when I struggled to answer these questions as well. And if you have these questions too, that's okay. Let me share with you what I've learned so far. First, why does God allow bad things to happen? We need to remember that God is more than capable of destroying evil because the Bible testifies that this is what will happen when Jesus returns. All will be judged, everything will be made new, and we will spend eternity in God's presence. But right now, we live in a fallen world, a world that's turned away from God. It might sound a little unfair, but we need to remember that our finite minds will never be able to fully comprehend an infinite God, and our understanding of the world will always be incredibly short sighted compared to God's vision. The suffering we experience today plays a greater role in this plan that we just can't see at this moment. Now, let's talk about where God is when these tragedies happen. We believe in a personal God and that Jesus suffered in every way like we have. If God is everywhere, then we have to accept that He is present in your suffering. It's just that you can't see Him. Then how can we witness His presence? Through the people around us in that time. We're called to be His servants in this world, which means helping those who are in need. The funeral was packed with people from every branch of our life coming out to support the family in this time. Actually, let's rewind to the Monday visit where I was able to see her and her family along with a few other church members. Could we cure her of cancer? Obviously not, but the fact that we were able to make it there and bring her some support and comfort during this time was important to her. And although she's not here, I know for a fact that she and her family felt God's presence on that day. Then what is the purpose of all this suffering? What role does it play in our lives? Let's go back to something I said earlier, that we are extremely short-sighted compared to God. It's easy to feel discouraged or hurt when something tragic happens in our lives, but that's because we can't see into the future. We're just living in the current moment and we have no choice but to trust in God with whatever comes. But believe me when I say, just because our suffering doesn't seem to have a reason now, does not mean they never will. After the funeral ended, I was off to an evangelism event that I was volunteering at, and one of the guests that came in had lost her 5-month-old son to cancer at the same time the funeral was happening. Now, I only found out about this after the event ended, and even if I knew before, there was no guarantee that I would have been able to do something about it. But if there was one person who could even remotely understand what she was going through at that event, it would have been me. And that's only because I have experienced a similar pain as well. I'm not saying I would have been able to make her feel completely better if I had an opportunity to speak with her, but it's rather that I would have been well equipped to at least try to understand and comfort her if that's what it came to. This is why we are told to rejoice in our suffering as it builds us up and allows us to better experience the hope of Jesus. So even when things don't make sense now, trust in God that it's for a greater reason that we just can't see right now. If you're going through a similar tragedy right now, I hope this video has given you some answers and maybe even some comfort. Remember, there's nothing wrong with grieving, but don't forget the hope we have in Jesus. I know that my friend would encourage me to continue my walk in Christ through all these things, and I hope that you will too. Thanks for watching.